What programming languages are on demand right now in modern market, and what specialist Fortune 500 companies seek right now and maybe in the near future? What you mentioned about Python, yes, maybe something else that you think they will be on demand.
Of course, sure. So basically, yes. Again, I'm huge fan of Python, right? But there are a whole bunch of other programming languages which are on demand right now, right? And will be on demand during the next like 10, probably 15 years, right? Those programming languages include like JavaScript, Java itself, then C# and Go, of course, right? If you don't like Python, for example, for any reason, feel free to choose any of those, right? JavaScript is commonly like related to the web development. Java is for more enterprise applications, like if you are willing to choose, let's say, your career in some enterprise company, big giant company, right? Go is more for modern developers. C# again is kind of related to Java, and again, it's related to more enterprise applications, right? In enterprise companies. So in terms of like specialists which Fortune 500 companies are looking for, I would say those companies are looking for specialists which are going to work in data science field, first of all, machine learning field, artificial intelligence or AI, right? Cloud computing and cybersecurity. So those are the primary fields of interest of, let's say, the biggest companies within the United States. What I clearly see, across the market right now, right? So in addition to that, you may try to focus on some emerging technologies, which are kind of quite new right now, but I'm 100% sure that those technologies are gonna evolve and get more and more interest from the people, just because their possibilities are endless. And those technologies are quantum computing, of course, extended reality, and edge computing. So, and of course, if you are interested in those, I can like briefly mention like what are they all about.
Yeah, I think at the end of the session, students will be able to ask more questions. So you can, meanwhile, you can prepare your questions for Andrei. And Andrei, the next questions I wanted to ask about AI. You mentioned about artificial intelligence. China developed AI robot for broadcasting use, TV news. In your opinion, pros and cons of this intervention, and do you think other countries will follow the same example?
Oh, thank you so much. So what I would like to tell you about basically AI in general, right? So first of all, we need to, before answering this particular question, we need to understand like how AI works in general, right? And what AI is actually is, right? So think of AI as a human, I would say, desire to emulate literal human brains, right? So of course it's based on mathematics, mathematical formulas, algorithms, and so on and so forth. But in general, the model, which is described by programming language, computer technologies, and stuff like that nature, right, supposed to work like a human brain. So now it all comes to the point where, I mean, we can start thinking about education of this artificial intelligence brain, right? Like we're educating our kids, basically, right? So, and depending on the information which the child is digesting, it may go to the right or wrong direction, right? So the same thing happens with AI in general, right? As soon as AI, artificial intelligence brain is trained across various, I would say huge amounts of data, right? And nobody controls this data nowadays. Basically, we might have like some risks related to AI in general, just because if the, let's say, AI brain was trained on biased information, right? The answers which this AI brain will give to humans afterwards, as soon as the training process is finished, will be also incorrect, right? So the good news about it is that basically AI is an extremely cheap helper for everyone, right? So, for example, let's take a look at, for example, ChatGPT, right? You can pay just a small amount of money and get access to the technology, right? Which produce you a very tailored answers to your questions way better than you can like search them through, let's say, various different sources provided to you through internet search by various different systems, right? So basically, it the good thing about AI is that basically it allows you to get very specific answers to very specific questions extremely fast, right? The downside of this thing, one more additional, basically, I would say one additional positive thing about AI is that it can improve your personal productivity, right? So again, everyone on the planet currently can have a personal assistant. It's like mind-blowing thing from my personal point of view, right? But the downside of this AI journey would be, of course, potential job displacements, right? So of course, all these big giant companies and the business in general, we are all interested in reducing the costs which we are spending on people for doing job, right? And as soon as now, all people have an ability to use technology, right, to do some work instead of them, right? Why we should pay them more. So we may expect a significant, basically, a cut of costs for the human labor who are gonna be relying on such technologies, right? Of course, again, the whole thing is like the whole thing, like AI needs to be controlled, and we need to make sure that we are providing it unbiased information to train itself. Otherwise, we will have like more risks than basically, kind of possibilities or opportunities for the future in general. So when it comes to other countries in general, I think almost every single country in the world right now is trying to utilize AI and machine learning in general to solve various different problems, right? So currently, I was speaking just only about the, let's say, AI human brain, but at the same time, machine learning can help us, machine learning and AI can help us to solve various different problems. For example, let's imagine that AI can give you a personalized recommendation on whatever you're asking about, right? What it means for you, it means for you basically that, for example, you may get a personalized medicine, I would say, suggestion every single time you are asking like correct questions and describing the correct symptoms, right? And AI system may do way better job than a regular doctor as soon as we will collect enough amount of data to provide meaningful, let's say, advices to the people. of course, the whole AI journey will definitely transform such industries like healthcare, transportation, agriculture, manufacturing, and many others. So, I mean, the possibilities are literally endless, right? But again, it's all about like how exactly we are using the technology. It might be used for good, it might be used for bad things, right? So everything, as usual, depends on the human being. Sorry, Yulia, we don't hear you.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Andrei. I wanted also to ask about your plans for future, whether you are planning to switch from your job to your business completely, or you still want to do both things and you enjoy your job and you can do business on the side part.
Okay, let me to put it this way. So as for now, I'm willing to combine a regular job and my own business, right? So there are several reasons for that. First of all, financial reasons. And in addition to that, basically, there is another quite interesting reason. I love what I'm doing. I love communicate with people. I love help them to solve the problems. And sometimes you cannot influence people just only through your, let's say, internet resource, blog or YouTube video, right? Sometimes you need to communicate with people like in person, right? To give them an ability to digest what literally is sitting in your head, right? Maybe sometimes explain it in other words to bring your personal knowledge to other human being, right? And that's exactly what I'm doing at my current job, right? I'm literally helping people to understand what I literally understood already, right? And I'm helping them to shortcut their path, right? So whatever it took me 20 years to understand, right? I'm basically happy to bring to them like within minutes, days, hours, months, something like that, right? Very short period of amount of time. And I'm enjoying seeing the results of such an interaction afterwards, right? So as soon as the people achieving their goals, they're super happy. They understood what you literally taught them basically during all this like months of interaction, right? It what drives my myself on a daily basis, basically. And yeah, I'm not planning to switch to, let's say, my own business, at least for now. But in the future, it might be the case, just because, time management, right? So I'm personally focusing on bringing the maximum value for a short period of time, right? If I will find a way to influence people way more through my, let's say, business, rather than I'm doing on a regular job, of course, at that specific moment of time, I will make the switch.
Okay, great. Yeah, that is awesome. It's very important for people who just started their job or who are looking for to grow in their career. It's very important to have a mentor or expert who can give you correct, who is focused on one specific field of expertise and who can guide you.
Yep.
If we go back to soft skills, as I noticed, nowadays we have pretty many students who have access to different resources to learn coding. They can learn it with mentor, with teachers. They can learn it themselves. If they're older students, they are pretty self-managed, and they can. There are a lot of self-paced courses they can go through, and a lot of information is available nowadays. And they, I would say that even there are a lot of students who are ready to do some real job and earn money by the end of school age, and even earlier, because every new generation is smarter, as I believe, than the previous generation, and their brain absorbs information much faster, and the educational system doesn't have time to keep with that, to keep updating their information and the education planning curriculum. That's why. But I've noticed what students are struggling with finding a job and passing the interview. They keep applying to different internship programs, to different junior positions, but either they are not accepted, or they just don't receive any response, because there are so many applicants, and again, so many information, so many companies they can apply to. So what soft skills would you do you think helped you to find your job that you enjoy right now, and for the interview process, and to focus and apply for interview, to filter those job positions that you apply to? Maybe some specific websites besides of soft skills.
Yes, I kind of understand what you're asking about, right? But at the same time, we need to understand what is the exact problem which we are trying to solve, right? Are we going to basically try to just get hired by more or less well-known company, right? Right away, by the end of school or college or university, right? It's a problem. Let's say it's one problem, right? Another problem is that, another problem might be how we can find a way to get hired by anyone in general, right? Just because a regular job is not the only opportunity which we might have. You may start as a freelancer, right, and build your portfolios on freelance website and start earning money there, right? So based on based on the problem which we are trying to solve, right, the advice will be a little bit different, right? I don't want to dive to every single option, right, too much, but what I would suggest start doing, right, is to build your portfolio right away from the college, right? So if you are interested in, let's say, programming, software development, game development, or you are doing something similar, right, just go to GitHub and publish your code over there, right? Try to collaborate with other developers through the GitHub. Try to shoot YouTube videos about your project, right? Try to bring as much people to your personal community, to your personal project, and start growing from there, right? The more mature code and more mature repository and more bigger community you will build while you have, I would say, free time in college and school, the more chances, you will have by the time when you finish your education process to get a job, basically, right? And of course, we need to keep in mind that that searching for a job is a job by itself, by its nature. The process of searching the job, right, is a job as well. It's as hard as the job, right? So the major problem here is that people who are responsible for, let's say, hiring people or doing this initial search, they are looking for very specific keywords in your resume or CV, right? Whatever term you're using, to match the job description which been provided to them, within the, business owner in the company itself, right? And those people are usually don't pay attention how talented you are, they are literally searching through the, I would say, buzzwords in the CV, right? And that's a huge problem, which is not been solved even yet, right? So in that specific sense, the best chances for you to basically get hired or to pass this initial filter would be to tailor your CV in such a way that it includes the specific technology stack which is required by the job position from the listing. Let's say you are willing to get hired by, for example, I don't know, Facebook, right? You're going to the Facebook website, you're looking for a job description, you understand that you might be interested in this specific job, let's say, right? So what I would do to get hired by Facebook, I would understand all the technologies which are mentioned over there. I would try to map my personal knowledge to this technology set. If I'm matching, if I'm not matching, then I have to basically fulfill the gaps. And here we are coming to educational process, right? We need to go somewhere to learn the skills. The faster, the better. And right after that, I would send them a CV, basically, which demonstrates that I have the specific skills for that specific position. And I'm happy to work sometimes for free, right? Just to showcase them that I'm capable of doing this work. So this last part is tricky when we are kind of, telling the company like, hey, may I do this work for free, right? Or extremely cheap. Right, and that sometimes might be an opportunity to get an internship within the company when the company is not paying you any money at all, but they are looking at you as a specialist, right? And they are looking at and they are assessing your like soft skills, technical skills, and or any other like skills which you might have or which might be required by the job position, right? And if the company like you, and it's all about like communication within or in between the people, right? They will sooner or later will give you a job offering. So long story short, try to first of all, while you are at school, focus on your specific project to just have a demo for the future employer. That you already know how to build something and you know the technology, right? It's gonna be something what we call portfolio, right? And in addition to that, try to tailor the CV as to match the job position as much as possible. And that gives you pretty good chances to get hired by any formal company, I would say major company, whatever. Yeah, so basically, that's it from my side.
Okay, that was, thank you for your detailed response, Andrei. I think now we can go ahead and tell about our contest and internship opportunity with you. Whoever has startup idea or would like to be part of this contest and would like to think about startup idea, so could you tell me more how you can help the winner to realize his startup project? Just in brief detail.
Okay, cool. So guys, first of all, thank you for your attention to my ramblings during this webinar. So basically, long story short, we are introducing the contents for you where you have an ability to present your, let's say, startup ideas or your project ideas, right? Whatever you are willing to build by yourself in the nearest future, right? From my personal point of view, it would be super cool if you will treat it as a startup kind of activity, where you will present us not only the idea itself, right, but also a small MVP or minimum valuable product. Like, for example, if it is a computer game, just go ahead and build something, at least like a character which running across the scene or doing something like that, right? To illustrate what your idea is all about in general. Try to think about it like a real project which will or which might bring you some money back, just because the outcome for you from this particular opportunity would be to invest your time not on just random thing and build just like, you know, some random, I don't know, game which nobody's interested about, right? But let's sit down, think about like what kind of like computer game, if you are speaking about computer game, you may build for the community or for gamers, right? What might make this game super attractive for them? What gonna be the killer feature which will be a super sticky point to the game, where the users can, like, you know, when the users going to be willing to play this game more and more on a daily basis, right? And right after that, let's think about like how we can monetize it, right? Why? Because I mean, if you will provide an amazing idea, right, I will give you a whole bunch of suggestions how you can try to monetize it, and you can start earning your own money right away, right now, right? Even while you're at school and so on and so forth, right? You don't have to wait for official, I would say, end of education process to do things like that, right? So, and of course, during the interaction with myself, I will help you to solve technical problems and challenges. I will give you or the winner an idea how to work on the project in mature way, just because I can share literally a lot of experience, right? And by the end of this, I would say, interaction, I'm hoping that the winner will build something meaningful, what can satisfy a lot of, I mean, potential users of his project, and of course will try to earn his first money.
And again, very important for your portfolio, you will be able to indicate that you have internship in the company. We can provide you a formal letter if you need, or anywhere, whenever you have your portfolio on GitHub or somewhere else, you can indicate that you have already some real experience. And yeah, I think and in terms of idea, it can be, for example, if it's game, it can during this in this game, the child can improve their math skills, for example. And in this case, you can sell this game to where? To schools, to school districts, and or maybe you can improve somehow school management system, or maybe it's next Uber or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, guys, just to let you know, we are not limited by only games or websites or something like that, right? Any sorts of ideas which you kind of may think about or was thinking about in the past, right? But literally had this feeling like, hey, I have no idea how to implement it. It's very complex or something like that. I mean, we can overcome all these like things together. You will learn all the technologies by the way. I mean, through implementing your own project, right? So just in case, to let all of you guys know, I'm not gonna be coding instead of you. It's gonna be your responsibility. But you will have like an extremely mature mentor, which will help you, or who will help you to build your project in the easiest way possible with a minimum force from your side. Yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah, this is a really great opportunity, and we have some students, a few more students who were ready to participate. They just couldn't join this meeting today. Yeah, thank you so much, and I think it's time for questions. Whatever questions you have, please go ahead. We have Anya Yevmenova. I think it's Timofey, right? Timofey was asking about quantum computing. If you can tell us something about quantum computers and computing and how to build career in this field? That would be great. If no, that's fine too.
Okay, cool. So I would be straight to the point, right? I'm not working in quantum computing industry in general, right? I know what it is. So let's start from here, right? So you probably all know that regular computers are using like zeros and ones as a base, basically a store of information. And those like zeros and ones are called bits, right? In quantum computing, the quantum computer can use not only this binary state like 0 and 1, but it is using a superposition of zeros and ones, and this superposition of the state which stores information in quantum computing system, I mean, the zeros and ones can be used simultaneously. So what it gives to you as a result, it gives you way more, I would say, speed to process the data in general. And quantum computers are way more powerful than already existing ones, right? So basically, those computers can, or this field, I mean, quantum computing field in general, can revolutionize, sorry for my English, basically such a fields like cryptography, drug discovery, basically all sorts of like very complex industries where the humanity did not have enough computational power to basically, to discover or research something in general. So it's very interesting technology. It's quite expensive right now, but lots and lots of companies, I mean, big companies are involved in this initiative right now. So how to find, I would say, a job in that specific space? To be honest, I don't know. Just because I'm not coming from this particular industry, and probably I will never be working in this industry in general. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But do you think it's harder to learn quantum than Python or AI, machine learning? Because I think there is a few specialists in this complicated field. Because no,
guys, let me to put it this way. Basically, there is no such thing like a hard thing to learn, right? Or like an easy thing to learn. It's all about basically how much time did you spend on researching, and how much time did you spend on basically, learning something. So 10,000 hours and you are professional in every single basically field you are interested in. The sooner you will spend this 10,000 hours, the faster you will become a professional. So it's all about dedication, right? And how much time you're spending on the subject, basically. You can learn quantum computing, programming language, I don't know, networking, dancing, playing a guitar, like gaming, whatever, right? The only thing matters is where you are basically dedicating your personal time. So in that sense, I mean, it's not, I'm 100% sure it's not that difficult to learn quantum computing in general. It may require you to learn some background, let's say subjects, which are baseline for quantum computing in general. It might be math or something like that, right? And basically that's it. It's all about like figuring out like where to start and how much time you're spending on it.
Do they need Python for quantum computing? Do they need knowledge of Python or any other basic programming language?
Of course, I mean, that will definitely simplify everything, right? But again, as soon as I'm not a quantum computing expert, I would not be able to provide an accurate answer here.
Okay. You said 10,000 hours to become expert. It's almost 4 years?
Almost 4 years, yeah. So basically, it depends on like how much time you're spending on a daily basis. So for example, right, this 10 hours is an average amount of time which you need to spend to basically become a subject matter expert in a certain area, right, or good enough to basically get a job or like do something meaningful in the industry. For example, let's say you are spending 2 hours a day, right? Now on something like playing a guitar, for example, right? Now 10,000 hours divided by 2 equals 5,000, right? Days, and then basically let's divide it on 365 to get the amount of years, right? Which you will need to achieve your goal in, for example, I don't know, playing a guitar.
5 years and half.
Correct. But what's gonna happen if you are spending, let's say, 4 hours? The amount of time shrinks basically to 2.5 years, right? What's gonna happen if you are spending like 6 hours? You pretty much got an idea, right? So now it's on us what exactly we are doing during our free time, and where exactly we are investing our time. The time is the most important and valuable asset in our life, right? It's even more expensive than money in general, right? So be smart where you are spending your time, and you will be extremely successful, I would say. So long story short, for example, if you have a trade-off to play 4 hours, let's say on a game, or spend, let's say, 4 hours in gaming, or let's say spend 3 hours on learning some meaningful skill, which
to create game yourself. So make a game yourself.
Yeah, like make a game yourself, right? I mean, it's like there are two types of people in the society, like
users.
No. The people who are eating in McDonald's and the people who are owning the McDonald's, right? So in gaming, pretty much the same analogy can be put in place. So you might be a gamer who is literally wasting your own time on gaming and gaining like this, endless pleasure. Or you might make a game and can monetize your game and can basically benefit of this free money flow, which will basically support your lifestyle, whatever you're interested in.
Right. In terms of time management and value of time, I wanted to add that it's always helpful to ask yourself throughout the day, what am I prioritizing right now? Because it's so easy to get distracted, and so many things are happening. So always focusing on one thing at a time and prioritize. We always have to decide what we prioritize in what field at the moment and the specific period of our time, of our life. Thank you so much, Andrei. Such a great. So I don't know how you guys, but it was very great information for me. And in terms of competition, I wanted to add that you can work with your teacher right now, who is Yasin, regarding the competition, and you can start prepare, you can start think about startup, you can start to do some draft about the monetization, way to monetize and how it will help to build a better world. And then just when you think it's ready to present, you can present it by some bullet points, you can present it via MVP. So it would be think about easiness, how you present it. So for the person, it will be for us, for Andrei, it will be easy to understand your idea right away. Imagine like you presented to a potential investor. Investor has to understand the idea pretty quickly. You have, for example, 3 minutes to pitch your idea. So the more sharpened it would be, the better. Of course, the result and how it can help people in the world is very important too. Any other questions left in terms of competition or any other?
I saw that.
I don't have any.
Yeah, some of the messages been popping up in the chat, so I'm quite sure you might have lots and lots of questions. So feel free to ask them right now.
Yes, Stan had a question about competition. Competition is starting right away. The deadline is, let me see. The deadline to present the project we can make right now. I think we can announce it. Andrei, what about middle of May or late in May?
I think the guys just need to think about it and reflect about it like a little bit. I would suggest, May, end of May. Let's put it
end of May, yes.
So basically we have like April, then May, like 2 months and in a week, basically, right? Yeah. So that's more than enough to prepare an idea or build an MVP or something like that. And let's basically review all projects at the same time and pick up the winner.
Okay, sounds good. So till end of May, we will be waiting for your projects. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Andrei, and have a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
This recording will be available on our Facebook page. We will be sending the recording also via email to everyone who registered. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, team. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so.
Well, maybe the idea is that is it gonna be easier to get like a programming job if you start your portfolio very early?
Yes, of course. Long story short, the answer to your question is yes. The sooner you will start, the more faster you will gain this 10,000 hours, right? Which we discussed like at the end of the webinar. And just imagine, for example, that you are starting this like race run with all your competitors who are, let's say, your friends, the other people of the same age, right? And just imagine that, those people who are, let's say, kind of starting at the same time with you are dedicating some efforts on basically your career growth, future career growth, you're gaining experience, you're building something, you are like improving yourself, you are developing yourself as a developer, programmer, or whatever else you're interested in, right? And those people are, whom you are competing with, they're like spending their time on something else. They're not going to be running with the same speed. And by the time when it comes to basically to get hired by the company, if you are speaking about working for a company, of course, right? You will have way more chances to get hired in comparison with the people who not being dedicated the time, basically their own time to improve themselves, to develop themselves.
I also wanted to add that you have to be meaningful what projects you indicate in your portfolio, right? It shouldn't be like all games, everything that you create yourself, but it should be explanation how it's gonna help to improve some processes.
If you are speaking about the context, yes. But if we are speaking about the portfolio, which people are building, right?
Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. It can be about anything, literally. For example, you from the childhood, you are super interested in gaming, right? I started as a gamer, basically, right? I was super passionate about Counter-Strike, Quake 3 Arena, and stuff like that nature, and it was like a quite cool online game like Ultima Online, where I spent like hours and hours, right? And that basically drive my passion to become a system administrator of a giant compute fleet of servers, right? Which the internet service provider owned, right? And I was the most popular guy in this who was working in this ISP just because I had an ability to, kick out the players from the game. I was able to ban them, unban them. It was so much fun. I mean,
you will like it.
Yeah, guys. I mean, it's
I want to know game
what basically brought me to the history to the industry, right? And as soon as I figured out how to administer all these computers with minimum efforts, right? I started evolving myself. I started learning programming languages, which helped me to basically automate everything, right? I started basically getting required skills and expertise to be exposed to cloud computing, just because it allows you to scale the compute fleet in a matter of seconds to the amount of computers which you need to have, right? And as soon as you don't need them, they will basically can be decommissioned in the matter of seconds, right? And you're not gonna pay for it. I was thinking that it's literally a revolution in technology, right? And that's exactly how I came here. I mean, whatever you are guys doing, just find your passion and build your own project. Again, master something, master one specific skill, and I'm quite sure you will find the ways to monetize that specific skill in any meaningful way. The only thing you need to do is to find a problem within your space. I mean, you know something about, for example, I don't know, gaming, if it is simpler for us to discuss. You know what the people are struggling with, right? If you will solve a problem which is big enough for, let's say, 1 million of people, and you will take just only $1 from every single human being whom you help, right? You will get $1 million. So basically, guys, it's very simple and straightforward like that.
Thank you so much for everyone's time, and we'll see you in our next workshop, which is going to be on April, Roblox game development. And thank you, Andrei. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.